We're beginning the second week of quarantine. Things are in a pretty severe state. No, I'm just joking, kids. This is my first video to you guys. I just thought I would show you what I'm making for dinner today. So today I'm just doing a simple chicken, and I think that you guys can do this. It's just skin on full chicken legs. So that means that the drumstick and the thigh are still intact with the skin on. All I did was take my chicken here. I put a little bit of garlic, sea salt, pepper, a little oregano, and then I just dusted the top with a little bit of breadcrumbs. And then the first method of cooking that I'm using is a dry heat, so a shallow fry. So we talked about safety with shallow frying. You got to be really careful, making sure to never leave your stovetop. And what we're looking for is what I always say in my class, golden brown and delicious, GBD, golden brown and delicious. So once they're golden brown on the top and on the bottom, we've kind of seared in the liquids. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer them into my baking dish right here. Okay. And then I have my oven preheated to 350. And then I'm going to bake them probably for around, 40 minutes. Because remember, this has bone in. So if you remember from when we did fish and poultry, bone in meat takes a very long time to cook in comparison to things like chicken breasts, which not so long. And also remember with the bone in meat, it's brown meat, right? So it's a little bit harder to tell when it's done. And a lot of time we talked about because of the corpuscles in the chicken, corpuscles in the chicken. Sometimes when you cut close to the bone, you're going to see a little bit of redness. But as long as you're checking by internal temperature, you should be good to go. All right. So I'm waiting for these. Now, once I put them in face down into the frying pan on this side of the chicken, I'm also going to season the other side, throw a little bit of breadcrumbs on there. So it's not a traditional breading station, something a little faster. That doesn't take as long as a traditional breading station. Once I put these into the oven, I'm looking at maybe 40 minutes to cook. So we want to make sure the juices run clear. We want to make sure we're checking internal temperature. And if you notice my oil is spattering a little, I have a gas stove, so you can see that the flame needed to be a little bit lower. Now you guys are going to be using all kinds of different cooktops, and that's totally fine. But make sure that the oil you choose is a high temperature oil. So high temperature oils are going to be things like canola oil, safflower oil. That's fine for frying. You got to be careful with things like olive oil. Olive oil is a medium temperature oil and actually denatures when you put it over heat. And then as we talked about before, you want to make sure that your cooking time is not too long in the frying pan, because when your oil gets dirtier, it becomes more unstable and the smoke point decreases. So always monitor your oil, that it's not too hot. And if you ever see that gray smoke coming up from your pan, I mean, that's going to indicate that you're about to have an oil fire. So make sure you turn off your heat source, pop a lid on it, and just allow that oil to relax a little bit. All right, so this is what I'm making. This is a really simple, quick dinner that you can make homemade at home. You can pair it with some roasted potatoes, rice, frozen vegetables, which are going to be a popular item right now because, in case you don't have fresh at home, or in case you're in a quarantine circumstance or you can't leave home, frozen vegetables are just as nutritious as fresh. So, anyway, this is Miss K's first video. Stay tuned for what is to come.